Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We're looking at the Kukatsuo weapon giant blade. Now this, the original mod author is Kukatsuo. Now I realize I'm probably saying that wrong, so I'm sorry, and it's just, I don't know how else to say it. So I'm trying to say it the way it looks. This is a weapon, a giant blade. This was ported by Kukatsuo. Again, I think that's correct. If that's wrong, I'm sorry. This looks like you get a big blade. They say it's huge and clunky. Production and reinforcement is possible. Also, grade up is possible. So I think, not to be mean, I think they just, there's probably a bit of a language gap here. But anyway, also I put the bandit who uses this weapon in Ember Shard Mine. Well, that's interesting to know, but if we can create this weapon, that will be fine. And I believe we probably can. We'll just have to look and see where we can create it, okay? Alright, so I've got Hope ready, and I just made sure that she could load up, and I think the category they put this weapon under, they don't say in the description. That's the one thing they probably would be nice if they put in the description. There's Hope. So anyway, the one thing that would be nice if they put in the description would be where it's at. It's under Draugr. Now you get 3 entries. These 2 entries are the same. That's the same blade. I don't know why it's here twice. It doesn't bother me. It's just something I'm going to note. I want to mention to you. I experimented with this a few minutes ago, and then I messed up and had to get rid of all that. But this is the same. So I'm just going to make one. That's one hander, and I'm going to make one giant blade. That's the 2-handers. Oh, how interesting. Maybe this is why there's 2 of them. Look, now you can make a bigger. Oh, you need a giant blade to make that giant blade. Humor me. I haven't seen that before. Blade to make the 90. So you can keep upgrading it. Now you can make up to 120. What's the limit? Oh, is that the limit? That's the limit. Okay. How interesting. I haven't seen that done before. Like, not quite like that. So if we make one of these, there's no upgrade. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. So anyway, the one-handed doesn't get that, but the giant blade, you notice it got some upgrades right there on the forge. So this one, we're going to make it legendary, and it's going to improve its damage. The original is still pretty low damage. That's going to have better damage. Now, with your character, you may get more damage. Hope may not be the best. Anyway, but I don't remember where I have her smithing skills. It might be at 100. But she doesn't have any special super smithing enchants or anything. Alright, so let's try these out. Does she have a shield? She has... Okay, that's fine. It's not going to matter. It's going to look a little hodgepodge. I apologize, but let's see what this looks like. Oh, let's look at it without the shield. Okay, so it is a huge, chunky weapon. Oh, you know what would be fun? Pardon me just a moment. Alright, there we go. Now, there's some clipping. See? When she moves around, there's a little bit of clipping, but look at that. That's pretty cool. She can use 2 of these. I think that is totally fun and dumb at the same time. But look at that. That's kind of, like I said, kind of fun and dumb at the same time. But it's great. I mean, if you like this, I mean, to me, this looks totally unrealistic. But still, if you're going for over-the-top fun and you're just having a good time, nothing wrong with it, right? Okay, so let's pop back. We're going to try the big weapon, but the animation looks the same. They feel a little slow compared to normal swords. Normal swords feel a little faster, But I think they mentioned that this would be the speed of like an axe instead of a sword. So let's go. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Let's go to the big two-hander. Oh my goodness. Did you see how that clips into the floor? Oh, that is so slow. I think that's probably unusable. It's so slow. That's... Whoa. How does it affect... I don't even know. I've never seen a weapon be that slow. It is a 90-pound weapon, though. Okay. I don't think that's usable. It's so slow. But, of course, you could try it and see. That seems kind of odd. If you like that type of thing. But, yeah, that seems really weird. That seemed really slow. Now, if we go, we'll go first person in a minute. I don't think... This is a very small mod. It's under 2 megabytes, so these textures aren't going to be like, ooh, super, 4K textures and stuff. But it looks like a big, vicious weapon. The problem is that this two-hander is so slow. The one-handed ones are slow, but this is so slow as I don't know that you'll be able to use it realistically in the game. And I didn't know it would be that slow. That surprised me. Nonetheless, it looks cool if you like that look. That's really more of a subjective preference thing, depending on what you like. It's your game. You should, do what you want. It's just, look at that. That is so slow. My goodness, that is slow. And I have never seen a weapon be that slow. And blocking's pretty good. But, wow. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to tell you when I hit the trigger, and then you can see how slow her reaction is. Okay. Alright, when I say now, that's when I'm hitting the trigger. Now. It takes that many seconds. Now. I hate to see a power, but let's try a power now. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, that's pretty slow. I've never seen a two-handed weapon take that long. Do I have anything else we can compare it to? Hold on, because sometimes... Okay, like here. It's a glass battle axe. Now. See how much faster that is? Now. 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 Okay, that's... yeah. And then the power attack. A lot faster. Okay. So, I don't know if you're going to be able to use that as a two-hand weapon. You are certainly welcome to try, but my goodness, why would you make a weapon that slow? Or is it just the weight that's making it happen? Is that just an in-game thing where the weight determines how fast it is? Could be. Let's go first person for a moment. Now, this is what you're going to see at first person. And then when you hit... Look how slow. Oh my goodness. This is like way too slow. Alright. Okay, that's really all I can say about that. That is just so slow. Let's do these guys. Let's bring these guys back now. In first person, you're going to see this. That takes up a lot of screen real estate. And they're slow, but usable. But they are slow. I will say that. Now. See, a little slow. But that's because they're huge. But not as slow as that big one. These don't weigh near as much either. So I wonder if it's tied into the weight and in the game that determines, how quick a weapon is, kind of how much it weighs. So, that's first person. First person view is not very good for a weapon like this because you really can't see and appreciate the weapon you're using. Now these are still slow, don't get me wrong, but they're not near as slow as that big one. Alright. So these look pretty good on your hip. Well, it looks pretty good on your hip. There's going to be some clipping. It's a huge weapon. I mean, there's no way to get around that. And then the big one is it's going to go through the floor. I mean, we already saw that, but let's just show you again. It's going to go through the floor. It's really stupidly big. So if that bothers you, you're never going to like this. That's up to you, though. Not up to me. I guess that's my problem with some of these things, and I know it's kind of all influenced by crazy, mostly crazy anime things, but not all anime, but just some where they have these weapons that are just so silly. They're so huge, they're silly, and they're unusable and impractical, and it looks dumb. But I can see a humorous side to it. I just don't. I don't think I could use it full time. Anyway, and then in first person, did we see this? I think we did. In first person, this is what you're going to see. So it's really not that greater thing to see there. Nonetheless, it's not a bad mod. Don't take any of this as to be like it's a bad mod. It's just there's certain problems here. I think the weight of the two-handed weapon is just way too much. Oh wait, you know what? Let's go back and make the lesser version. Maybe the problem is this version. Let's make that first version. How heavy is this? It's only 30 pounds. This will be a good experiment. Let's make the lesser version. This is the 30-pound version, okay? So we're going to use the 30-pound version. See, that's the one that's equipped. Oh, and look at that. It doesn't clip to the floor as bad. It's not as big. Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. That is much better. Now you have a good version. This is usable. You're still going to see that in your first person view. Okay, so if you make the first one, so it just gets bigger. As you make a new one, it just gets bigger. This one is probably more reasonable. You notice it's not in the ground as much. There's a little clipping, but it's minor. This is much more reasonable. And you can actually use it. It actually swings fast. Faster, anyway. It's not, you can still do the block. Anyway, okay, so that's what we needed to look at, was the first version. So then, let's look at the second version. Okay, so let's look at the second version. Okay, so there's all these versions you can have. Oh, that's so messed up. Let's try to look at the second version. Oh, this is really... It's a cool idea, but like that was the big one. That's 30 pounds. This is 40 pounds. Now it doesn't really look much bigger than the 30-pounder. It's significantly slower though. Probably still usable at this point, but it's significantly slower. Still not as slow as that one. Anyway, it depends on what you like. You'll have to experiment with that. I would say stay with the first or second one because it makes it more usable. When you get up to that 90-pound one, it is so slow. The 30 and 40-pounder is easily used. Let's try the 50-pounder. I don't know what that's going to be like. Let's try the 50-pounder. I just don't know if it's going to be... Here it's getting bigger, see, and it's more in the floor. Okay, and this is the breaking point. At this point, it's too slow. Now, yeah, at this point, it's too slow. She's taking too long. Now. 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 She does swing. You could probably make that work, but wow, that's, for me, that's too slow. So the first two, the 30 and the 40 pounders, are probably usable. I think the 30 pounder is better. This 50 pounder is not very practical. The 90 pounder is definitely not even usable. It is so slow. But it's huge. Yeah, it's huge, and if that's what you want, now if that's what you want for looks in your game, for whatever reason you want it to look that way, that's fine. So we've spent a lot of time on a small mod, which is kind of funny, but they put in some interesting options, I guess. It's kind of different. So let me just scroll back down to that. Here it is, the Kukatsuo weapon, giant blade, and this was ported over by Collusion. Anyway, as you see, it's under 2 megabytes. I mean, you might like the one-handers. You might like the smaller giant blade, because it's a lot better. But it's up to you. You know, just give it a whirl if you like the giant clunky weapon like that. I don't really see a problem with it. It's very low texture, of course. It's not going to be super high res. So for some people, they won't even be interested in it. I understand that. That's fine. It's your game. You should have things the way you want them to be. Okay. All right. So that's the Kukatsuo weapon, giant blade. And it's interesting. I mean, it's not for me, but if you like these types of giant weapons, you might like it. I mean, it's low texture, it's small, it's not going to impact your game as far as performance goes. So you should be in good shape, as far as I know right now. I did not go to Embershard Mine, and I'm not going to. You can always go check that bandit out at Embershard Mine and see if there's anything weird about them, or if it causes you any issue. But I don't think it would. This seems pretty simple. So anyway, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. I will catch you later.